Good day. As you can see, this is a nighttime walk, and it's snowing pretty good. It's tickling my nose for sure. I think we're supposed to get 15 centimeters tonight. It's about -8 right now, I think. And the big deep freeze is coming this weekend. Of course, I had to flap my big mouth hoping we would get more snow because it's been so dry and we haven't had much snow yet. So another 15 centimeters will add to the accumulation, I guess, so that's good. Of course, I got to go out of town on Monday, and I hope the highways clear up by then. I think it's kind of supposed to snow all weekend. The snow is pretty deep, and a lot of people haven't had a chance to or aren't shoveling yet because it's still snowing. So either that'll provide me a good traction or it'll hide the ice and cause me to slip and stumble. Let's go with the traction too. I skipped walking last night. I was just too pooped to party. I been really busy at work. We had a lot of stuff going on this week, and it kind of sucked the life out of me last night. I don't know how much I'll do tonight either. Something's better than nothing, I guess, right? It is kind of pretty out though when it's snowing like this. I don't think it shows up very well on the camera, but we don't usually get heavy snow in Edmonton in one big dump or another. It's usually snow over time. We had a stand-down meeting the other day, which basically it gives the opportunity for people to stop and think about past major incidences that we've had that we've had in not so long ago. And with that stand down, they had a presentation on human factors. And in our environment, as much as you try and use AI and automation and stuff, there is still the human side of it where people make mistakes, which causes major incidences. And you look at that helicopter, the Black Hawk helicopter hitting a plane in Washington with the figure skaters and coaches and stuff. You would think there's all that technology preventing that kind of thing, and without full investigation, it seemed like the root cause was a lack of staffing and human error, allowing both the helicopter and the plane into the same airspace. You're never going to get around human error, and I think that's why things like AI are going to become so popular, to try and interject some kind of artificial intelligence into preventing that type of thing. Ooh, that wind in my face is chilly. Wind is kind of coming from the northeast today. I think about some of the activity we had going on this week where it's electricians hanging cable tray in preparation for installing new equipment. And I mean, they're operating, they're working over active equipment and stuff. And no matter how many precautions you take, you know, safety training, safety meetings, all it takes is a guy to drop a bolt or something into the fan of one of our UPS units and, you know, cause it to short something out or jam up a fan. It's still a human involved there that really you can't automate that type of function. So in some ways, humans still will be required. I remember saying to my daughter, well, you know, the world still needs ditch diggers. And then she said, well, you know, even though it's way more expensive, I'm starting to do a lot more with hydrovacking instead of having somebody actually dig a ditch. So, you know, changes are always there to make things more mechanical than human related. Whew. This might have even been parka weather. It's stinging against my face. Got a good pace going though, until I burn out. But I believe my wife has found a new favorite toy when it comes to resume writing and writing letters and stuff in AI, the way it can quickly populate a letter or make it sound more professional, or have your resume written by an AI bot to make it sound more professional or relatable to a job posting. So there's definitely a lot of good that, you know, can save time with AI. Of course, it's going to turn our brains into mush too, because we don't really need to think about those things. Just get AI to do it. Speaking of AI or social media algorithms, I actually experienced some form of censorship. I post these videos on that application, you know, that sounds like a clock. And I was talking about the ban and, you know, how much of a joke I thought it was, and, you know, who's responsible for that and what was the point of it was. Interestingly enough, I was looking at my number of view stats. You know, I'm not very popular or very visible, and most of my videos, you know, get 80, 100 views, and that doesn't mean they're watching the whole video, of course, but 80 to 100 views. Well, that one where I was talking about that ban, interestingly enough, only got 3 views when I've consistently been doing that 80 to 100. So there you go, it picked up on my little rant about that and essentially suppressed my video. That's my first real experience with being, you know, kind of affected by how their algorithms work, in a negative way anyways. It's funny. So much for free speech. However, these are privately owned companies and they can structure their algorithms to work the way they want, but you're seeing just how easily it is for them to censor a message or create a message that they want to see or don't want you to see, just by picking up on these things. And I always wondered why people called those pew-pews, you know, because the application would quickly censor that or anything related to some kinds of crimes and stuff. So they think they're doing a benefit to humankind, but all they're really doing is obliterating free speech. Again, their own application, they can run it the way they want, and there's still people sucked into it constantly, so that's the way it goes. Okay, I was off to a gangbuster start, but I need to slow my pace down. I'm starting to run out of breath. And the ducks are almost in silent mode right now. Just the odd quack. I think there might be less of them. It's hard to get good light. I like some of these big houses along here with the walkout basements. It would be nice to have one in some ways. But in another way, you're just making more room for more stuff. More stuff that do you really need? By habit or character, I'm more of a chucker. If it hasn't been used in the last 6 months or a year, out it goes to Goodwill or into the garbage. If you don't use something very often, then why do you have it? I was saying this, well, I think I mentioned in another video that when I was walking by the storage places, that if those places had burnt down and all their stuff was gone, I wouldn't be overly heartbroken about it. There's always some things you miss. There's a couple people I work with were talking about all of the things that they collect, and this one guy has 100 totes, I guess, full of various things. And the other lady was talking about all of her hiking and climbing and, you know, all that type of sports gear. And I'm like, oh, that's replaceable enough, you know. Wow. Apparently I was not in the right crowd for my opinion, because neither of them were very happy with the idea that at some point in their life, if they ever had to get rid of the stuff, it would be a problem. I guess what it really does is become a problem for your kids in the future, or whoever you're leaving your stuff to. Now, if you were like those people in California that had minutes to determine what they're going to grab and go with, what would you go with? I think I have backups to my computer and my wife's computer. We could grab those because that's full of a lot of pictures and videos and stuff. Important papers like maybe your passports and stuff. But other than your family and your pets, there's really nothing that's not replaceable. There's always going to be the things you're going to be sad about not having anymore, but overall, it's just stuff. Stuff is always replaceable. Now, easy for me to say when I'm not in that position too, right? But I look at a lot of things in our house. It's like, why do we have this? Why do we need this? And if you did that whole process that they try to do with people who are hoarders, you put it in your hands and hold it and say, does this bring you joy? And if it doesn't, you get rid of it, and if it does, you keep it. I don't know if there would be very many things I would say that bring me joy from a possession perspective. I guess what you really need is that pensive or whatever. I think it's a pensive from Harry Potter, where you take your memories and put it in there and store your memories. Because really, that's all you need. You don't need the stuff that's associated with the memories. I don't know if I should go home and shovel tonight or not. I guess it might be less backbreaking tomorrow if I shovel tonight. It's pretty fluffy snow though. Not a lot of moisture in it. Always fairly peaceful when you're walking in a snowstorm. Other than the wind blowing in your face. Don't know if I got enough steps in, so I'm going to double back. Kind of the way I came, except through a residential. I was behind all these houses earlier when I was walking around the storm capture pond, stormwater ponds. Lots of yummy cooking smells tonight. And no smells of laundry soap. Excellent. I always thought about trying to get a job as one of these rural mail carriers that it's contract work, I believe, and you're using your own vehicle. But you take the mail out to these super boxes out in the country. Be nice driving. Of course, it's work too. My old Jeep wouldn't be able to hack it though. I'd have to trade my wife for her Honda CRV. And that would go over like a lead balloon. Ooh, the smell of heavy garlic. Yummers. Why people eat late? It's like probably around 8 o'clock. But I guess it's out of necessity. You gotta work longer hours, you gotta get home right after work and start running kids around. Well, I'm now walking for steps and not for the enjoyment out of it. Time to start heading home. Tommy's pooped. And in all honesty, if you want to believe my watch, I did do 6,000 steps at work already today before I embarked on my little walkie here. And it's going to be bloody Groundhog's Day coming up here already. Wonder what the old rat will say this time. It's rarely ever right for around here. Hard to tell in this light, but my footprints are almost already filled in from when I came through here less than an hour ago. Let's see, will that be my thumbnail picture there? Why not? This might be one of the rare snowfalls that I wish I had a snowblower. But generally not. It's good exercise shoveling snow, even though it's the #1 cause for heart attacks for middle-aged men, I think. But that won't be me. I don't know if I should bother shoveling or not. Could be a lot in the morning. Screw it. Never mind. I'm not doing it. Let's see how we did today. Well, that was 4.5 kilometers. I thought it kind of felt like more, but I did it in less than an hour. And so that kind of got my pace up pretty close to what it should be at 5 kilometers an hour. So even with the snow and, dragging my feet through it, still made good time. So until the next one.